Hello everyone, this is Key of W again with some Islands of Insight. I warped myself over here because the Lost Grids I think is something I should be doing today. But there's a couple other things. I was looking at, right before I recorded, I was looking at the puzzles that are available in these two worlds. So some things I noticed, for instance, a bunch of Sightseers when we're nearing the end of that. A couple Sentinel Stones, for instance. We got a couple hidden Pentads over here, as well as a memory grid and a bunch of pattern grids. Not so much in these. And then I believe in Lucent Waters, the thing in particular I was looking at was the final phasic dial. So I'm thinking of looking for some of those puzzles here. But since I am near the Lost Grids, I'll actually start down here. I don't know if I'll do all of the rest of them. I might be able to get them all done, but they're... Let's see. Is this it? How many are there? Okay, there's a few. Oh, there is a 5-star left, so maybe we save that. Or maybe that's what we do today. We do the 5-star, we see if it's really hard. If it is, that's the only one we do. All dark regions have area 3. Okay. That is the only gimme. The rest of this we're going to have to work out. So, let's see. That's all we know is that dark regions have area 3. Let's see. This doesn't have to be this one. Right? This corner can be... We don't have to worry about any other rules. We don't have to worry about connect all light cells, none of that kind of stuff. If we did a light cell here, we'd have to do a light cell there. And here and there. Which would mean we couldn't connect these. Or these. I was making an assumption to see how far it can go. This assumption actually goes quite far. And I don't know if that's good or bad. Oh dear. It can't be this because it make... Okay. Yeah, this assumption's getting me really far in the sense of a lot of stuff. If this is a white cell, all of this is forced. But where do we go from there? I don't want to make two assumptions unless there's a really quick turnaround. If I did this, it would be fine. If I did this, however, we'd be in trouble. So it would require this move in particular. So all of this would be forced if this is a light cell. Which is nice, because if it turns out this is correct, then I've done half of the puzzle. It just feels kind of cheap. Now, for the rest of these, we don't know for sure. If this is a dark cell, that's fine. I was thinking, I'm trying to see what will block success. If this were a dark cell, we would have to have light cells like so. And it would have to be this. So this would have to be a light cell in this version of events. If this were now a dark cell, would we be fine? Yes. If this is a dark cell, now we have to do this. And now we're in trouble. So this would also be a light cell. Now if this were a dark cell, we would do it this way. Okay. So far, so good. So now the question is, how do we fill the rest? I think this was just the right move, which is somewhat unsatisfying because I would have loved to, like, find an immediate contradiction and, like, be, logically I must do X, Y, Z. But instead of logically, it was more like, I'm just going to try this move. I don't hate this puzzle. It just ended up being like, oh, okay. I really want to be able to find a break-in. Like, that's what I want. I look at a puzzle, what is the first move I have to know? And sometimes I do it by, like, okay, well, if it's this, if it's that, we kind of end up in this position where all of this works out really well. So if this is wrong, hoo boy, is it close. Okay. So what would I do? If I did this, we would have to block this in. And then we'd have to block that in, which would overload the 7. So, this is how we would do these things. What if I did it this way and it was just done? All right. I don't know. Was it supposed to be that easy? I mean, maybe the logical move was to look up here. And perhaps if I had assumed a dark cell here, I would have found an inconsistency quickly. But it does sort of feel like I lucked into the one move that solves the puzzle very fast. I don't know if I'd put that at a 5-star. To me, 5-star is you have to look at the puzzle, make a logical inference, but that logical inference leads to another scenario where you have to make one. So there's a lot of steps where you have to logically work it out. Rather than there's only one you have to work out, and once you get it, it's smooth sailing from there. That's right. Fine puzzle. It was fine. I enjoyed it enough. It just is not as good as the one in Serene Deluge, which is the greatest puzzle this game has ever given me, which took me nearly an hour to do. Okay. So these definitely need to escape. All I need to worry about is area numbers and letters. Right. This can come out quite a bit. These can't touch each other, so there we go. That's got to come out. These can't touch. None of these can touch each other. What am I thinking? D does have to come out more. Corner rule. That's the 5. E does not have to come out anymore, and in fact it would touch B, so it's done. Corner rule. It's got to be at least that much. It's complete. Don't see any reason for these to be light cells, so we're not going to do that. In fact, we're going to stop it here, I think, so that, because B has to go this way, so we do have to block. Oh, wrong button. C's got to come out. F doesn't need to go anywhere. So you know what? That's probably what it is. Alright. Good puzzle. Tiles are... Oh, come on. Connect all dark cells. So no matter what, these are dark cells, which means those are dark cells. Because whichever direction these go, it's still... You got to have dark cells around it, and all of them are connected. So these are dark cells. And then, no matter what, this is the furthest that can go. But it could be a light cell here. No, there's no way this is a light cell, because that would force a dark cell in there, and it's not connected to the others. So that's a dark cell as well. The furthest this can go, this can't go there. Actually, can there ever be a light cell there? No, there can't. Which means there has to be dark cells here. But I could do that. And then they'll have to come through here. Oh, that's it. I bet I was just overthinking that. Because I wanted to, you know, solve a puzzle and not do a tenth of a puzzle. Oh well, I've complained about underclued grids enough. I'll still do it, but I don't know. I'm just very disappointed. Like, they should have shown up for just a tiny bit and then been thrown away. We don't need them anymore. They're good for tutorializing. Anyway, 1, 2, 3. I think these all need to be dark cells, which are going to all be connected. So I think these all need to be dark cells. That's a choke point there. We have to have all of these being dark cells. That's done. The 5 now needs to be all of these. The 4 needs to... let's see. Oh, this 8 is complete, so there you go. This 12 is complete, so we gotta surround it. This 12 is... It's gonna have to touch this. And then it's gonna have to touch these. And we're done. Pretty good. Alright, any more? There's a couple more. And when I'm done with this and I check my save stats file, if I see I've missed any, then I'll have to come back another day. That's fine. Okay, all numbers are off by 1. That's my favorite thing ever. Okay, is there a break-in without me doing the guessing game? Perhaps let's look at this symmetrical thing. Because if we grab it as a white cell, actually, no matter what, this is a white cell. But if I put this down, we would also have to do this, which actually works out, because it's 5s. But if this is a dark cell, that's probably fine, because I can also say this is a 3. Okay, well, if I say this is a 3, right, this isn't going to work, because I would have to do 3s here. So far, so good. What is this going to be? A 5? A 5? Actually, so far that does work. That works just fine. But it would force me to make this choice, which requires... if I did this, this has to be a 5 or a 7. Now, if it connects to here in any way, it'd have to be a 7, which is going to be not possible. That's possible. No, I don't think that's going to connect there. I think we'd be looking at... something like this. Oh, damn. No. So this one I don't know if I can solve. It might be... Let's see what happens if I go the other way, which is instead block this, call this like a 5 together, and then see what happens if I make this work. Now this has to be a 3 or a 5. Well, actually it has to be a 5. There's no getting around it. Oop. This is blocked. This... Yeah, this doesn't work. So it was correct to make this here. So now it is a question of what do we do here? If I say that this is a dark cell, how do I make this? I could make it a 5, like this. If I bring it here, we have to do this, which that would force it to do. Which makes this impossible. Actually, just think about how many spaces I got. I have 16 spaces here. How do I make this happen with 6s? Because they got to be 5s and 7s. So 16 can be 5, 5, 6. That's impossible. It could be 7, 7, 2. It actually could just be these are not the things. So if I made... like whatever this is, these aren't. Right? Like a 7 and a 7 leaves these two separate, but how would I make that work? Like 7, but then it crosses into that territory. That's too many. That's 6, which is wrong. I need that to be more like that, but then I have that problem. Since this is dark. What if that's light? Like... Also, this doesn't have to be part of a 6. What am I thinking? So I can separate these. Because if it's like so, then I don't have to worry about... Shoot. This will never work. This is close. I just don't have anything here. Yeah, this side's tripping me up. Let's suppose that was a dark cell and I wanted to make it not a part of a 6. I'd have to do this. But if I make this a light cell, not part of any 6, how do I make this work? Like so? Then what's this connect to? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That doesn't work anymore. I don't know if that... had a similar problem there. Might need to connect in this way. It's that. But then this doesn't connect. But this doesn't work because now I've got all of these. How do I connect? Like this? Let's make this white. Maybe I make a path. This doesn't work. This doesn't work. What am I doing? Why is this suddenly the hardest puzzle I've ever done? I mean, it could just be that there's another way to do this side. And if I were to make this happen, is there anything I can do on this side? Because now I have to make... Now there's... These two are gone. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I have 14 over here. I could do a 7 and a 5. Like, what if... this... And now this is the way to do this side, but how do I do this side over here? This has to come out. There's no way except for this. That's it. That's the way it's done. I guess I just needed to work on this side first. Huh, that one got me pretty good. It was harder than the 5-star puzzle. So that's everything I see here. I don't know if that's all. Let me just double check. There is one more. Where is it? They all look complete to me. Oh, nope, there's the one I was right in front of that I wasn't paying attention to. One more puzzle. Let's do it. 4. So all dark regions of area 4 connect all light cells. So I'm supposed to be able to get something from this. Only 1, 1, and 1. Well, look at this 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we made this... Now, if we made it a light cell... Well, if we made this the dark cell... Does that do anything? Almost the rest of these would be dark cells. It doesn't give me much. If dark regions of area 4, we can't do this. We know that much for sure. So the light cells... Like, if this was a light cell, we would have to... We'd still be fine. It just has to break up the dark cells somewhere. We just can't have 2 in a row. But we could have it like this, for instance. Now, if we were, say, to put the dark cell here... Or... We would have to bring these out somewhere. I don't want to be guessing. I want to be able to look at this and go, okay, logically we can work out where it can and cannot be. Now, if we do something like this, this has to be a dark cell, right? No, we can move down this way. We could block that. Well, if we moved this way, for instance, with this cell down here, we're going to be in trouble because this is the furthest we can go. Right? And where do the other cells? We need 4. We need to fit 3 more cells in here. There's no way to make this rule work. So if we put a cell here, it has to go there. Now, we could just keep going. But if we move down again, we have trouble. So we would have to keep going. And if we move down, we would again be in trouble. So, in fact, if we put a cell in this corner, we have to go all the way. Now that would be done. How would I do the rest of this? So, like, it was like, okay, cool, good guess. This is what happens if I put a cell there. Well, let's look in these areas here. If I put a cell here, for instance, what would that tell me? Not much. What is here? This would tell me not much, because I could do any combination of 4. Let's look in the... If I put a white cell here, if I decided this is the way we're going... One of these would be a dark cell, and then the one below would be. So it couldn't be this. So it'd either be here. No, it would be this. That would be the forced move, and then we'd be done. So that is not a possible thing. If we've continued with this line of reasoning where this is a dark cell, now we can't have a light cell there, so it's got to be dark. Now, could we have a light cell here? No, because now we're going to have this problem. So this would also be a dark cell. Would this be a light cell? I think we'd have a similar issue where it would go like this. So once again, this would have to be a dark cell. And then one of these is dark, so these will all be light over here. Huh. Now, there has to be... So if we chose this, for instance, we would have to do these, which is fine. It's just that we can't choose this one, I don't think, because we would be stuck. So this would have to be a light cell. Now over here, what would it be? Oh, these also be light cells in this logic. Let's look at this one. If we put a light cell in the center here, we would not be able to connect it to either of these. So this would be a dark cell. This was light. That's fine. Same with this. But they both can't be dark, so there has to be a light cell here, so these are the 3 dark cells. This is not the right music for this area. I think the trouble now is no matter what I do, if I were to say put this here, we have to do that, and then we have to do this, and then we're out of pieces. So I think what that means, because we've logically worked out all of this, that's got to be a light cell. That's the only thing we know for sure, which is such a great thing to know. Great, thanks. I think the logic is always going to be the same up here, that it's always going to be a 4 in a row, because if it isn't in any way, that means it moves down into the 1, which is going to make this number not work out. So if we start with this, actually, well, no matter what, these 2 are going to be dark cells then. So now we know this here. Is that right? So, because we have to have a straight line. If this was a 3, then sure, but because it's a 4, anything that brings this down makes it impossible to put 4 cells up there. So that means it can't connect down here either. But it could be this one if we went this way. We can also just say do the same logic we did before. If we do it like so, doesn't tell us too much more. If we were to take it all the way to this edge, now we have a 1 in here somewhere, which is going to connect to the 5s. See if I can do better than that. This is a case... This one is not going to connect up here. It's going to connect down here. Right? So this connects. But then if we were to connect something like here, right, this wouldn't be able to go any direction up or down. So the 5, therefore, is going to be like 3 and 1 or 3 and 1, something like this. And then there's going to be 2 on the other, 1, 1, 3. Oh, it would have to be something like that. And then to make 3, we would go like this. So basically, we're looking at something like this sort of pattern, right? We might actually just be looking at this pattern. There we go. That was actually a really interesting puzzle. It's probably the best one of the group I played today. Okay. Interesting Wanderer's Quest. So, now that I'm down in Verdant Glen, let's take a look for the puzzle types in particular I want to be clearing out. So, we're very close to finishing Sightseers. Let's see if I can see all 3 of them today. Sentinel Stones are pretty easy to find. There's only a few spots they can grow, so there's 2 of them. Let's find the hidden pentads. Let's also find the memory grid, and ideally all the pattern grids. There's really not much here. We can get some wandering echoes, but that's about all. I don't care so much about these. They're almost done anyway. Yeah, it's really the other puzzle types. So if I find a good old puzzle raider stuff, is that a Sightseer right down there? Looks like it. What luck! We didn't even need a puzzle radar to find it. And that is looking up. It looks like you're inside here, looking up like at that, up through that hole, right? Except not that one. Is it over here maybe? We're looking up at something. Is it? Oh, I heard an archway here. Let's get that one. Looking. Is it up one of these stairs? Maybe it's up this one? Yeah, it looks like this is the one. Sweet. That's one of 3 that are possible today. Uh-huh. Actually, hold on. Let me check the leitmotifs, because I thought there was only 1 available today. There was. I just found the 1 available leitmotif. Not as worried about those. There's still quite a lot left. I don't see any reason not to just do these. Oh, hold on. I do see a reason not to just do these. I found the reason not to just do these. Hold on. Wait, what do I do here? Do I do this one first? Looks like I did that one first. Then I do this. Then I do that. Man, that one baited me pretty good. I like that puzzle. Oh, still have a lot of match 3s in this area. I'll show you. There's just so many match 3s. And match 3 is kind of middle of the road puzzle type for me. It's fine. But it's it's just not my favorite. I understand them putting the rule that you can't make a move unless it makes a match, but I grew up with like Tetris Attack, where it was a match 3 game where you could just keep making moves even if they didn't make matches, which can make puzzles very, very complicated. So unfortunately, there's a limit to how good puzzles can be, because once they get too complicated in here, they just become guessing games, like we've seen in a few of these episodes. So I do need to break 4 purples at a time at some point, and 4 pinks, and 4 turquoises. Why not just do this to start? Yeah, this seems like just the move to do. Because the moves are limited, the only way to make the puzzle like really complicated is to make tons of possible moves, but because the moves are still limited, it just ends up being guessing what you can do with them rather than feeling like you can really make a lot of moves. So overload. Alright. Oh, I also should mention that I still have the sparks. They didn't go away. So I should probably pay more attention to these because they can get me extra sparks to buy stuff with. I've been ignoring them because of the bug I talked about for the last couple episodes. That no, I guess it was fixed or something like that, or maybe I just got unlucky in the early parts of the game. So that's a good way to get sparks. That will eventually run out. I'll eventually not be able to do it. Yeah, I have to do this. This is a trap. Don't want to be doing that. I could do it this way. Then what? This? No. This doesn't work. This does work. Yeah, so like look at my luminous quest. I'm actually pretty low on flow orbs remaining, and so if I were to pick a quest like this after I'd solved all the flow orbs, I wouldn't be able to actually complete the quest. Now, if I wasn't playing with the mod, it would be fine, because when puzzles load in, they load in unsolved state. Oh, like before. But because the solved puzzles load in the solved state, I will eventually run out of puzzles to do. Alright, that is forced. That is forced. That would overload. Okay. Yeah, so I just gotta pay attention to that if I want to get enough sparks to buy all of the cosmetics. We just... that was it? Is it the puzzle where we go up and down? Doesn't look like it. Looks like this is kind of it when it comes to the puzzle. That entire second floor was useless. Alright. Apparently I can go above level 100. Maybe. Or just finish the mastery of level 100, not sure. So, I'm looking for a couple more sightseers. Pattern grids would be nice. I haven't seen any, and there's supposed to be a lot today. But I will clean out as much as I can. Connect all dark cells forces me to do this. So no more fractals today. I'd love to get them done, but at the same time I don't like doing them. Okay, connect all dark cells. If I were to do this, I'd make a pathway for all the dark cells. And I get a prize, a Mirabilis. Don't need that, but thanks anyway. Where are we going? Nope, that's as far up as you went? Okay. Wait, I was thinking, is it going to just keep going up? Nope, this is still going up. Now I'll catch it. You know what? I will say this is one of the clever wandering echoes, in that I actually feel like it's doing something a little different than the other guys. The slow movement where it's telling you have time to get into position. Of course, the fact that I have my supercharged jump kind of makes it irrelevant. Otherwise, I'd have to go through a lot of jumping. And here we go, pattern grid. Okay, so this pattern is just there. So I wonder if it's just repeated, but reversed over here. And it is. Armiliar rings are another source of sparks. Armiliar rings and sky drops. Even with this mod open where puzzles can't be resolved, Armiliar rings and sky drops can be solved endlessly if I happen to need more sparks. They just don't give me a lot of them. The puzzle box, just a regular puzzle box. That's done. This 12's gotta come out. This 5 has to come out. That 5 is done. That 5 is done. That has to be done this way. That's done. Oh. You know what, let me go over and get the reward. Look at more of these, Hey, there's one of the sentinel stones I was looking for. Okay, so I know the pink's gotta move left. Is this just a move I need to do? I feel like this is a move I gotta do. This is a move I gotta do, yeah. Grab, you know what, let me grab the effigy, whatever, and then figure out the sparks from there. Not very many sparks. Armillary rings is a good one, because I'll never run out of armillary rings. Whereas I will run out of other puzzles. Not anytime soon. There's only a couple puzzle types I'm really close to done with, like hidden pentads and flow orbs. But still. That was not hard at all. There's another puzzle box. Don't make that, or no diagonals, no dominoes of any kind. No squares. So that has got to be it. No square. We're just going to do this then. Okay. Puzzle radar would be nice. I think that puzzle is solved because I only see one bit up there. Yeah, that one's solved. So here's where I can just do a ton of armillary rings. And get myself some sparks that way. They're right there. And I really like the armillary rings puzzles. They're one of my favorites. I wish there was more, like, deliberate armillary rings puzzles. But I'm not sure how you'd handle that. I also wish there were less of the moving armillary rings puzzles. Those are not my favorite, because they turn a puzzle from find the right angle to wait, just stand there and wait until the puzzle gives you the answer. Like this, there's none of this, oh, let me find the right angle, because the angle keeps moving. So the best course of action is to just keep on waiting for the puzzle to move into a position that's a win. Which I've mentioned multiple times, but every time it comes up, I'll say it again, because it is a bad puzzle choice. There you go. Yeah, moving rings. Is there any way? This one's a tricky one. It's these two rings, this one and that one right there, that I need to get a spot through both of those, but almost every spot through both of those is going to go through this black ring. Okay, let me ignore that one for a second. Oh no, it's another one of these. Stand and wait for the puzzle to solve itself. Nope, still doesn't, because now the black rings overlap with the gold rings too much. Give me a little bit. Okay, now the gold rings don't overlap unless I were to move to a new position, but moving to a new position... Okay, there we go. It just happened to move right into where I needed it to be. Huh? Oh, right, I need to get the other one, too. There. Alright, there's a few more of these and I'll have my... Alright, gotta get through. There. I'll have that quest solved. Alright, this is the one I don't know. Ah. Nice. Nice. That one's got it. That one's got it. One more, and we'll have it. Sweet. We can head back, pick up those sparks, and then let's grab... Okay, heading this way, see if I can find the puzzle types I'm looking for. I've been in this area for quite a bit. I feel like I want to stay in this area and really take care of the exact puzzle type I want. Gotta find those puzzle radars, though. That'll at least guide me where I'm trying to go. Sure, I'll do these if I gotta. Okay, no. This is fine. It's 2 spaces away we can't do. Okay. So then that's got to be light. Which means these are both dark. That's light then. That's light. That's got to be dark, which means that's got to be dark. Right, sorry. This has to be dark. Or light. Crap. Fuck. That's going to be there, which means this has to be light and this has to be dark. Dang it. Fuck that rule. It's just a little bit too far away. You have to, like, physically count the spaces instead of, like, vibing. So if I move this over, the purple over, I'd have to move the yellow back over. Is that a possible thing to do? Yes, it is. And then, oops, this move first, then this move. That looks solved. Okay. Dark regions of Area 3 and area numbers is all you know at the moment. And this is the only way the 6 is going to work. Okay, oops, that's gotta be back there. And that would overload. There we go. This would overload. One more. Has to be that one. That overloads. Nice. I like that one. I mean, it's on the easier side, but I like how that one ended up working out. I think I'd at least stumble on a puzzle type I'm looking for. This is the last maze I can do today in this area. Well, there were 6 I saw when I started. There were 4 that were already complete. Ergo, 1 more. I think I have to do a loop all the way around like this. Hole in the floor, look out. I'm gonna have to loop all the way around again. Now for holes in the floor, there isn't another hole in the floor, so there's just the one. Okay. Looks like 2 sets of 4 on the turquoise here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1 set of 4 on purples. And then a set of 5. So if I do this to start, I can get this set of 4 out of the way. And then we're good. Doing a lot of logic grids, but I don't see the pattern grids that I want to be seeing. Overload? No, it's one of these two. This overloads, but one of these two directions. Corner rule. And there we go. I feel like I've done a pretty thorough loop of this place. I mean, I know there's going to be nooks and crannies I haven't touched, but I haven't seen half of what I need to see. Dark regions of area 4, light regions of area 3. Dark is area 4, light is 3, so that's got to be dark. If this was light, we would be in trouble, so this is in fact how it's going to go. Still haven't seen a puzzle radar. That would really help in this scenario to find the couple of things I'm looking for. Also, hidden pentads. Where are they? Don't make this or that pattern. Don't make this or that pattern. So no squares and checkerboards. So that's going to take care of the square issue. Then checkerboards potentially are there. Let's see. That's going to have to be like this. And then we have to do it like this. Let's see there. I definitely don't want to miss out on my chance at hidden pentads, because I have not seen a new hidden pentad here in weeks, I don't think. So I do want to hit those. I just don't know where they are. And you'd think I would see them, because they are quite conspicuous looking puzzles. Maybe this area's got something, or at least a puzzle radar. Be nice. Maybe in this zone? No, maybe over here somewhere? Oh, there's another sightseer, so at least got 2 of those. That's back down under the pyramid. Wow. So, from what angle? I've got to be on top of the pillars. Wow, this sightseer is pretty far away from the zone. And there's the last sentinel stone. So I'm on top of the pillars here, it looks like. Right? I've got to be kind of here. I've got to be a little further back, it looks like. Yeah. Anyway. This is an obvious move. Is it right or wrong? I don't want to do this move. Pink's got to stay together. It looks like I want to mostly do... I want to do all 3s. So something like this. This is going to be interesting now. If I do it this way... That's not good. If I do this here, that's also not good. If I start it with this, then I think we're fine. Yeah. Well, at least I'm solving a lot of puzzles. Don't make... So it looks like we just need to do something like this. Yeah. Done enough puzzles with that rule to know. Was that... No, it was a sky drop piece, not a sightseer. Connect all dark cells. This has to happen. That has to happen. So connecting dark cells is going to force that, as well as this. Uh-huh. That's gonna go here. This, I think, needs to go now. No, how do I make this not? Maybe I do it this way first. Then I can do it. Ah, I see. Nice. Okay, so Sentinel Stone's up here. I think it's actually a little further this way. Yeah, it's over there. There's still a Sightseer. There's still tons of pattern grids. Oh, hold on. That's the Sightseer right there. Okay. I still have not found a single hidden Pentad. Now, I know there is that overlap between Autumn Falls and Verdant Glen. Oh, no. How do I get both of these here? How do I get all of these? Maybe from this angle? Over here? There's really no way to get all of this from here. If I'm in this spot, I can't get all of that. If I'm further back on this edge, maybe. Ah, maybe I just go further back this way. Ah. There we go. Nice puzzle. That is this building right here, so I just gotta get a little bit higher up, I think. I'm looking at this kind of straight on. Oh, nope, just right here. Oh, there. Cool, that's all the sightseers, right? So I got all those I can get today, all these I can get today, all those I can get today. Still 2 of these. Oh, the pattern grids disappeared in the time. Okay. I still haven't found the memory grid. That's what I really want. Yeah, the memory grid and the hidden pentads are what I really want now, and I'm willing to spend the rest of the episode looking for them. I just would love a puzzle radar to sort of help me out here. Alright. Kind of it's made for you puzzle. I think this is the only way to do that. Maybe further in here. And to the left, I haven't really explored. Ah, yes, a hidden pentad I have not done. It is here. Oh, look at that. That was easy. I have a feeling I gotta go on top of this building to get at least one of them. Yep, there's that. There's that. Wait, what's that? No. And then the other one's probably hidden around this corner somewhere. No? The bubble is rapidly shrinking. Maybe it's under somewhere. Oh, it's right there. Alright, one more of those. At least I did one of them today. If I can't find the other, I will have succeeded in whittling them down. Just don't know where it is. Kind of looked everywhere. Same with the memory grid. I've seen a ton of grids, not a lot of those. Is there an area I haven't been up to? Maybe more up this way. Could be some grids I haven't seen. That is a regular grid. Yeah, these are just regular logic grids, which are fine. I'll do them. It's a regular one too. Yeah, it's a regular. Alright, well. Connect all dark cells. Looks like that is a good start. Yeah, I see. Cube. There it is. Let's just... Oh, too far. I have been ignoring the potentials for cubes, that's for sure. Somewhere in this corner, maybe I can find that memory grid. Because I feel like I'm so close. There's like only 6 left in this whole world. Dark region severity 4, light region severity 4. One of these two. That's... Well, it can't be this one, because if this was light, both of these would be dark. So that's a dark cell for sure. And then it can't be that one. So it's one of these two. So it's not that one. Great. Awesome. Dark regions of area 4. That's all we care about. Okay. If this is the dark region, we would have the dark region of 5, so we can't have that. That's got to come out, which should overload there. Corner rule. It is kind of weird I haven't seen any puzzle radar. That is something I would have expected. No squares and connect all of every cell. So that's definitely got to be there. That's definitely got to be there. But if there's no squares, we got to bring this out, which means these all got to be light. That's got to be there. Oops. Yep, regular boxes, which is fine. Ah, there's a puzzle radar. How many boxes? I've done so many. Jeez. Connect light cells, dark regions of area 4. So that's gotta happen. That's gotta happen. Okay. So what I am looking for with this puzzle radar in particular, I'm just gonna real quick just scope out. I don't want to be like, oh, it was right here this whole time. Not hiding it back here. I'm looking for 1 hidden pentad, 1 memory grid, 2 pattern grids. Don't care about those right now, or those, or those. That's really what it is. Pattern grid, memory grid, hidden pentad. Alright, let us begin. It is nice that as I start doing more and more of these puzzles, my field of vision isn't so completely flooded. So there's a pattern grid there, which I will come back to. Oh man, I only saw the pattern grid. And I'm running out of time yet. Oh, dang. Alright, let's go do the pattern grid at least. And if I find another radar, great. Okay, so it was basically up back there, so... Alright, we got that much. Do we just... Hold on, 1s, 2s, 3s. Okay, cool. 4, 4, 5, 5, 5. Nice. Okay, it has been an hour. I'm going to have to call it here just for time. And by call it right here, I mean after this puzzle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I do need to break a 4 at some point, but I think I need to break it this way and then bring these over. Because what I'll do next episode is I'll just make it right after this. I'm just going to basically make the video take a pause, give myself a little break, come back, and handle Lucent Waters coming up. So I'm going to pause here. Yeah, I'll pause right here. And I will see people in 5 seconds for me. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you're all having a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.